replace the VOD. Okay, good. Okay, uh, awesome. Okay. Hi everyone, and welcome to week. I think it's 14, right? Week 14, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's somewhere there, somewhere in the teens. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Last meeting of the semester. Crazy to think about that. I feel like it just flew by me, like the entire semester for these meetings especially. Yeah, we accomplished a lot though, right? We had a lot of meetings. We accomplished. You guys knew the basics of Unity now. It's like you're still living in summer break. Yeah, I can still vividly remember summer break. It's crazy how fast this semester went by. Yeah, but yeah. Thanks for coming to the yearbook photo last Friday. That was really fun. Uh, Ibrahim, you forgot to come to the photo. That's all right. You were in the unofficial one last year, right? I think that counts too. uh, that counts for one of them. Yeah, fun stuff. Uh, good times. All right, yeah. Let's do what we're gonna do today. So today's actually gonna be a little bit shorter than usual because I only got really one small thing to cover. So I want to essentially make you guys sort of do it for me. So I'm gonna ask you guys what the steps should be to do this certain thing, and then you guys are gonna tell me what I should do. So it's more interactive that way. Yeah. So today I want to get collision from the eraser guy. And we've gotten collision like 2 times before, right? So this should be a simple concept, right? So I'm pretty sure we can all do this. So to get collision from the eraser, what should I attach to the eraser? Somebody put it in the chat. Box collider, yeah. Box collider. So I'm gonna go to my eraser, not my enemy spawner, and I'm gonna put a box collider on it. Box collider 2D, yeah, fixed it. Yeah, regular box collider will just make it like a 3D box collider. That wouldn't really work in a 2D setting. Let's edit it so that it actually fits this eraser sprite and doesn't make it like a really unfair hitbox, like some games. I was gonna like cough and then say a game, but I forgot what I was gonna say for this part. What's a game with really unfair hitboxes? Like, yeah, I can't really think of one. Minecraft? I don't know. I think Minecraft is pretty fair. Okay. Dark Soul 3 bosses. Have not played Dark Soul 3, but I'm gonna take your word for it. Mewtwo Smash Bros. Okay, there's a lot of examples out there. um, all right. So we obviously we want to use the is trigger function to get collision from it. Remember how that whole thing works? When it is triggered, it's kind of like a flag from Mario where it's not solid, but you can go in it and it will like play something from a script. That whole thing. So what should we check to make it is trigger? It's like right on my screen. Just say it. Hmm. That's crazy. Is trigger? No way. Yeah. Like is trigger said is trigger. That was a dumb question. Okay. I should have just done that by itself. Okay. Uh okay, but now we got the eraser with the box collider and the is trigger. So I'm gonna pose you a question. So eventually there's gonna be a lot of different enemies in the enemy spawner, right? So do you think it's more wise to put an enemy script on each one? So like let's say like there's like gonna be like 10 scripts if there's like 10 enemies. Each one's gonna have like a way to damage the player, or do you think we should have one script that just handles all the enemy collision? What's more smart here? What would save more memory? Hmm. 2-1. Yeah, there we go. I'm giving you guys really obvious questions, but sometimes, like one time in a game, like for a game jam, I did the opposite and I made every single one have their own script, and it was a nightmare. So don't do that. Yeah. Let's make a player health script. I already have something called player health because we made that Flappy Bird game, so I'm gonna call it player damager. That's a weird name. It works. Player damager. There we go. This is on the player, by the way. Okay, opened it up. All right. So to get the box collider from uh our eraser, or no, get the player's box collider. What should I? Yeah, I'm asking the wrong questions. Okay. So what is the function called when we want to get collision? Just when the enemy enters the box collider of the player, when it enters it. That's a hint. Enter. What's it called? I want the exact name with the proper camel casing. Camel casing is like the you capitalize each word, but like there's no spaces in between. That's kind of like a coder thing. Like player damage, sure. Like this P and this D is capitalized. So like, it, there it goes. On trigger enter 2D. Okay. Brandon, make sure to do the proper camel casing like I just said. Good job, Adrian. Yeah, on trigger enter 2D. So I can type void on trigger. Why is it not filling it in for me? That's kind of weird. On trigger. It should fill that in for me. Okay, wait. Let me restart this. Close. That's not good. Let me try that again. Void on trigger. There you go. On trigger enter 2D. Should fill it in for you if you did all the steps right. It's at the very start of the year. uh, yeah, filled it in for me. So on trigger enter 2D, you'll get a collider 2D and a collision. That's what we call it. I'm gonna rename this to other. Just it doesn't really do anything, but like it makes more sense in my head when I rename it to other. Because other, as in like what the other thing is colliding, but they just named it collision. So it's like, is it my collider or is it their collider? You know. So I like it to name it other, so I'm sure which collider it is. Okay, let's go back into our Unity. It's going to be a bit of a harder question. So, how are we going to check if the collider that the player is colliding with is an enemy collider? So what did we use? Yeah. What did we use for the Flappy Bird? Like, we made the pipes. We gave a special attribute to the pipes. What was that attribute? Tags. Yeah, exactly. We gave a tag to our pipe, uh, pipe object, so that we can go in script and then get the tag, and then we can like get the tag for uh the enemy. So I'm gonna make a new tag. So to make a new tag, just go to tag, then add tag, and just add a tag. I'm gonna call it enemy. Okay. Go back to eraser. Adrian, I'm gonna have you stop answering the questions. You answered like three of them, and I want other people to answer too. Okay. I need to nerf you. Okay. All right. So anybody other than Adrian, he's simply too good. You're too good, Adrian. That's why I'm asking you to do that. Okay. Carson, how about you, Carson? What is one very important thing to remember when you make a tag? I said this over and over again. Add the tag onto the place you added it at. Exactly. That sounds a little bit confusing, but you're right. Because when you make a tag, it doesn't actually add the tag onto the object. You have to go back and then add the tag again. It's really wacky like that. So yeah. So like, look, it's the eraser that we made the tag on is untagged still. So we have to go back, place the enemy. That's a very common place for errors. There we go. We got the enemy tag on there. Let's go back to our script. And then, so does anybody remember the if statement we used to get we used to compare tags? Just type out the if statement in the chat. How about somebody other than Carson, Adrian, or Brandon? I want a new guy. Somebody who hasn't talked in the chat before. Like Esther, Lyndon, Tejas. Come on. Jaden. I am a teacher. That's what I'm doing here. I'm 4 videos behind. Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, that's all right. Uh, Lyndon, I'm sure you know, right? Lyndon. Lyndon, do you know what the if statement is? If you forget what the I know it's called like if. No, but for the if statement for like comparing tags, do you remember that? If you don't, you could always go back into your script and then check it. That's always something you could do. That's something I do all the time. I don't remember everything all the time, right? So what I could do is I could just go back to the player health script from our Flappy Bird game. I can just open that up, and I can see that's if other dot compare tag. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. So the key thing here is we do other dot compare tag. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Yeah. So if you forget something, you can always just look back on your script. Yeah, I'm not gonna. It's not like unfair or something. That doesn't exist in game dev. Okay. You can like steal code from wherever. Just make sure you understand what it does. That's the most important part. Yeah. So we're gonna type in if other dot compare tag, and we're gonna call it enemy with a capital E because I named it like that. Yeah. Make sure it's properly capitalized, that exactly as you named it, the tag in here. All right. So once you've done that, then we should probably make a state, where the scene is gonna restart. We're gonna make like a really kind of a really crappy restart. Uh, this is not gonna be very smooth at all. It's gonna restart the game instantly, kind of like how we did for Flappy Bird. If you remember, from the Flappy Bird, uh, you know, player held script, when we restarted the game, we actually had to import something before we did that. We had to import the use of the using of scenes right before our class. So does anybody remember the syntax for that? Hint: you can always go back to your script and just check it. It's practice for you know when I'm not there to tell you this. Lyndon, you do answer it. Lyndon. So just go back to the script and check for it. We added something up here for scenes. Could you just put it in the chat? Lyndon, you there? I don't know where it is. It's right up here, right like at the very top. Like let me make this bigger. Right at the top here. What does it say? For using scenes. I just want using like scenes. Yeah, you got this. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, using Unity.scene management. Yeah, you want to import using scene management right before we do it because remember what I told you guys, right? So every mono behavior script comes with using the system collections generic stuff, which is just regular C# stuff, and using Unity Engine, which is like the fancy just all the fancy stuff that Unity adds, like rigid bodies, being like a variable type and stuff like that. But it doesn't add everything because if using Unity Engine added everything, each script would be like pretty big for a text file. So we wouldn't want to import everything. So that's why some things are locked behind uh, different using things, and one of those is scene management because not we don't use scene management in every single script, right? So yeah. So yeah, we have to type in using Unity.scene management. Go here, and then to get a scene or to restart the scene, we can actually go back here and see it. We can just use scene manager, dot load scene. See how just looking back at the script really helps? Yeah. And then what's the name of it? And we're loading the scene. We're gonna say load the same exact scene again. So this scene is called Endless Runner. Make sure the capitalizations are perfect. Save that. And this should work. Let's test it. Hopefully it works. Otherwise I would look very silly. Let's see. Come on. Hit me. Hey, it works. See, it restarted the scene. Doesn't really reach that one. Might have to tune these. There we go. Yeah, restarting the scene every time. Awesome. So we made a death animation, or not animation, but just like a death sequence, which is what we really need here. We'll talk about more advanced like animation techniques and particle effects in the first meeting of next semester. Yeah, the first meeting of next semester is going to be all about particle effects and just like game juice in general, which it's a funny word, but I'll talk to you about game juice next semester. But yeah, that was about what I wanted to talk about. But I remember when I was talking about that challenge I had for you guys last time. I kind of alluded to it, but I never really told you. Well, that's what I'm going to talk about right now. So you notice how this scene is pretty empty, right? Like, there's only like one eraser guy in it. It's not a very cool enemy type. He just kind of like goes from right to left. It's kind of boring. So my challenge to you guys is to create your own enemy type over winter break, which may seem pretty daunting. It's like, oh, I'm gonna do it all by myself. What? But don't worry, I'll be there to help you during winter break. So, um, you can always just type in the general or help chat or the bug fixing. We have like three chats for help, or the active members chat if you're an active member. And you can just just go to those chats, ask me for help, or you can just DM me for help either too. But if you're asking in the chat, make sure to at me so I can see it. Uh, yeah, what is here? What's wrong here? The spelling is correct. Yeah, semicolon. Okay, yeah, what I was talking, yeah, the special challenge I'm giving you. So, do you guys think you're up for the task? Do you think it's a bit too hard? I'm pretty sure you guys can manage it now. You can also add other stuff to the game, like you can add a background, you can add special art that we talked about. Does the new enemy replace the eraser? No, you're gonna be adding on to the game. So remember from our script from before, let me go back here to our enemy spawner script. So what's fun about like what would be the enemy behavior? That's for you to decide. You can basically make the enemy behavior whatever you want. But I'm going to show you some examples of enemy behaviors I've made in 1 second. But let me answer Brandon's question right now. So for the string attack, so you see here how we have the eraser down attack, eraser up attack, eraser middle attack. So what you do to just add another enemy type is you'd go to your enemy spawner and just make a new animation. You can just have another sprite with a collider under the enemy spawner. Make sure that it has to be a child of the enemy spawner for it to be animatable by the enemy spawner. So make sure it's a child of it, and just make a new animation, and then type that animation into this list. That's all you have to do. Something that's also pretty fun is that if you want some enemies to come up more commonly than other ones, what you could do is you could literally just make the same attack happen more inside the list. So I could have like a razor middle attack twice. So there's a 50% chance that a razor middle attack will happen. There's a 25% chance down attack, and a 25% chance that a razor up attack will happen, like that. So if you want to make some enemies more rare than others, you could do that as well. I started joining the meetings late, so I don't have the code. But can you send it to me so I can add it? Yeah, sure, I could do that. I could send you the GitHub for this specifically. Yeah, I could do that. Just make sure to DM me about that, okay? I'll send it to you over winter break. I'm a little bit busy with finals right now, but yeah, I can definitely do that for you. Okay, so here's some examples of enemy behavior. And the fun part about this is, all of the things you make don't actually have to be enemies. They can also be friends to you and give you stuff. So I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay, so you guys remember when I showed you guys that game I made during Game Jam, which is, what this game is based off of, Stress. So the games, those two games are really similar, right? And I had to think of uh, a bunch of enemy combinations for those, like the whiteboard and the paper weird paper shooter guy. Let me show you guys what I mean. Yeah, this was a while ago. Oh, why did it search it from there? Use Safari. Safari has the better WebGL. There you go. Let me just get it out. Then you guys will know what I'm talking about. Let me mute it also. So, oh, it's not muted. How do I mute it? Okay, here we go. Here. So here's stress. Uh, Wait, actually, I want to show you guys the tutorial. 1 second. Let me reload the scene or the game. Yeah. Yeah, so I made like 5 enemies for this game, and I made these all in a week. To be fair, I had a few years under my belt when I made this game, so that's why I'm giving you guys 2 weeks to do it from one or two enemies. Uh, so this is just a tutorial area, but it's also where I talk about the enemy types. So we have like a paper guy, and this paper guy he will bob 3 times before he shoots a little paper ball, which is a homing paper ball. So it'll actually go to you. So you actually have to kill him before he um before he shoots out the paper ball. Otherwise he will kill you instantly. You have the eraser, you know how the eraser works. You have the pencil bro. Pencil bro has like he comes in 3 parts, so he'll like zoom into the screen and then he'll shoot his head out, then his body out, and then uh his eraser butt out. We have the Gameo, and Gameo. So the whole point of the game is that like you're stressed out. So Gameo will actually reduce your stress. By hitting him, you'll get like 1 sanity point added to your meter. The whiteboard guy, the whiteboard guy is he's kind of weird to explain, like, but the numbers kind of shoot out. So I'll show you guys what I mean when I play the game. If you guys forget how the game went, which was a few weeks ago, so makes sense. Skip the cutscene. Yeah, there's the eraser. There's the game. So I actually added a sanity. We don't have a sanity meter or like a attacking option to this because I wanted to make it a little bit more simple, and also so that you don't just copy what I wrote, what enemies I made here. I wanted to make it a little bit different. It'll be a bit more creative here. But yeah, you'll bob 3 times, and then when he shoots, that'll decrease the sanity actually. So it won't actually kill you instantly, but if you were to make that in our game, it'd probably kill you instantly. Yeah, cool stuff. The game, it increases your sanity. Ooh, got hurt there. Yeah, so you see how I'm dodging this here. So there's all these different types of enemies. Cool stuff. I want to get the pencil dude. Where did the pencil dude go? I think I made the pencil dude more of a rare chance, like I was talking about before. Damn, how long is that house? Apparently pretty long. Apparently this guy's. Oh, here's the pencil guy. So he'll shoot his parts at you. Yeah. So you have to shoot like you shoot your way out of the pencil. Otherwise, he's definitely gonna hit you. That tutorial was actually based off of Battle Cats' tutorial like screen, not tutorial screen, but like like the if you play Battle Cats, you know what I mean, right? It's a funny slideshow of every cat in the game. It's pretty funny. because everybody was. I remember last year, Kale. I remember last year everybody was obsessed about battle kits. It was crazy. Yeah, battle cats was like the meta. It was a really big thing for our friend group last year. So that's why I added that there. Uh, I can go on for Kale. Kale has like an insane score on this, right, Kale? Yeah, 700. Like it's crazy. Yeah, this game is like really easy with the axe though, which is why I excluded it so you guys can get more creative with enemies. How does the background spawn in like that with the Flappy Bird pipes? Uh, it's actually it's exactly like how we did the Flappy Bird pipes actually. Not exactly like it's a bit different. Yeah, we do have 30. You know what? Sure, let's make a scrolling background right now. I feel like it. Let me actually get out. Uh, Let me get out some sprites that I could just draw them up right now. Actually, I'll just draw up some random sprites for us to use. That'll also give you a good look into how to make some background sprites. So I'm not going to use any fancy parallax because that might be a bit too much for just 30 minutes. But I can definitely implement it in 30 minutes. It requires no coding, by the way. It's really fun to do. So I'm gonna make this like what is this screen is gonna be like this guy's like 64 pixels. This 55 pixel. I'd say around like 500 by 282 is a good one. You guys don't have to open up Piscal. I'm just drawing this to speedrun it. Um, and what we have to do is I'm actually gonna make this width of like twice the size it's supposed to be. Then I'm gonna make a line across it, a straight line. Center that so that's in the middle of the two, and then let's see. I'm gonna make it very easy to you know uh I'm just gonna make a funny pattern on the wall, okay? Something that will connect to each side, essentially. So I'll just draw some shapes. But the main thing is that anything that sticks to this line has to connect to the other line, so it'll be seamless. You can make your own backgrounds during the. You don't even have to make your own enemy type. You can make your own backgrounds. Anything could be cool. It'll be great practice for when you're game deving by yourself and I'm not there. That's kind of what this whole thing is for. This whole club is for, right? To teach you guys how to make games, but teach you guys how to make games, not me there helping you make the game. So that's what this whole sort of thing during winter break is about. This is the most ugliest background ever. I need a softer red. What about this? That's better. Let's make it cream colored in the background. What's a cream color? Is that cream? That doesn't look like. That works, I guess. Okay. Oh yeah, wait. Very important. Let's make sure that these two sides loop. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this side. I'm gonna copy it, make a new layer, paste it, and just flip it horizontally so it goes to the other side, and then I'll merge it with the layer below. That way, it's constantly gonna just do the same thing over and over again. Let's see. I think I'm just gonna make another doodle here. Some wacky stuff. I wish I still had the stress Unity because I could show you what that background looked like. That background was way more complex looking, right? Because it had like the moving picture frame and all that stuff. I'll make it something really simple here. 1 second. I feel like Bob Ross right now. Let's paint some happy clouds. Here we go. Happy circle. Or that's not a circle. That's a square. Happy square. See, this is why I can't do any art. I'm not an artist guy. Oh, everybody who knows me knows I'm not the art guy. I don't even know what. shapes are. Okay, this works. This works for our purposes. Make sure the scale is 1 times because we don't need it any bigger than it already is. Download that. There we go. Once you've downloaded, let me put this in the funny files area for you guys. That's a screenshot. Okay, here. So go to files. You'll see the sad scribble I made. Happy circle. Right. Look at a quadrilateral. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Download that. Just write. Open it in browser and then save it. You've done this like 5 times before. I'm sure you guys already know the process by now. I'm gonna go back into Unity and import this. So by doing that, go to my scenes, not scenes, just go assets, right click, import new asset like usual. Go to downloads, get your download. There we go. I'm gonna rename this something like I background. I'm doing this all off the top of my head, by the way. I wasn't planning to do this, but why not? We have 30 minutes. Oh, we have 20 minutes now, but whatever. Set the compression to none, or maybe you know what? I'm gonna make somebody do this again. Always good to have practice. Who hasn't done it yet? I know Carson has done it. I know. I think Adrian has done it before. We did it 2 times before, right? Who hasn't done it before? I think Lyndon has actually done it too. Esther, have you done it? Have you done the funny compression game where we go through everything? Oh, you haven't, Lyndon? Okay, if Esther's okay with it, we'll have Lyndon do it then. Lyndon, can you unmute? Oh, Esther, you're like 4 things behind, but I'm sure you could still do it. You know, it's fine, Lyndon. Yeah. Unmute Lyndon. Let's go through it. So what's the first thing we should do?
Change the filter to point no filter.
Yeah. Wait 1 second. But you're missing a very important step. Up here. Pixels per unit.
Oh, pixels per unit. 16.
Was it 16? Is that what we put? We put it as 30. It's 30,
Oh,
okay?
30. Okay.
Yeah. Because everything has to match the same pixels per unit. So this is 30. Yeah. 30. Okay, then what? Then you said it before.
Yeah, filter mode to point.
Yep. Then let's go to 2000. Or let's go to the max size. What should we make the max size?
1024.
Yeah, right. Fits it. What's the last one?
Switch compression to none.
There you go. Okay, apply that. Nice. See, we just half the size of that file, just like that. How nice. It was 2048 before. Now it's 1000. Okay. Now let's drag that our sprite into our scene. Look how big it is. It fits the screen perfectly, I think. Does it? Yeah, I'd say it fit it. But now it's covering all the stuff. So remember, for our sprite renderer, when we want to order sprites, just move our order and layer back a bit. So I'm gonna move it to like -97 for fun. And I'm already kind of seeing that the red wing is kind of like matching the color of the background, which we don't want in our games. We don't want the background to match our character color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the color of my background. Let me just open this up here. Yeah. Can you see the color window here? Or I don't think you guys can because I'm not the whole screen. Here we go. Yeah. So can you guys see the color window right now? Right here? Yeah, okay, good. I'm gonna move the scale of this down a bit. Okay? But at the very left, but move it down a bit. So it's a bit darker than the wing now. But it's like so this is it's a background element, so I'm gonna fade it out a little bit to make it a little bit more darker. Nice. I'm also going to move it. Let's see, like this. I think this is a pretty good way to move it here. Okay, awesome. We have my background. I'm going to make a empty game object now. Let's move it to 0, 0, 0. There we go. 0, 0, 0. I'll name it my background. That's the same name as the let's just name it background animation. There we go. And then I'm going to drag my background into there. So my background is now child of background animation. And then I'm actually going to rename this to my background 1. Okay? Because we're actually going to make another background element. Right, 12. Is that good, everybody? All right. So once we've done that, we're going to do Control D. Remember, we haven't actually done Control D in a while, but Control D is duplicate, remember? So Control D to duplicate, and then I'm going to use, you know, the W tool to move it to the very side, so that it's looping perfectly. It's just connecting over there, and it looks like there's no overlap between it. Oh, there is some overlap between. There should be a little bit of overlap so that you can just make sure, but it should look essentially like it's just moving up again. So now this background actually looks like it can move on forever, right? But we're not going to make infinite backgrounds. That would be kind of silly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make an animation that constantly just moves from here. We're constantly just gonna be moving this background thing from here to over here, and just restarting the animation instantly. It doesn't even need the animator, to be honest. It just needs the animation, and it'll just keep doing that over and over and over again. And eventually, as the game gets faster, you can make the background move faster by changing the animation speed in a script, which I'm sure you can find by yourself. We're not going to do that today. Yeah, so let's make that background animation, of course. So go down here to our background animation, the parent, create. I'm name this background animation. I'm so creative with names today. Um, and then I'm going to move my little cursor keyframe thing here to like, let's say 1 second. And then I'm gonna press record, and then I'm gonna move the background all the way over here to the end. Then I'm gonna play it and see what happens. So this doesn't look like it's looping perfectly every time. So does anybody have any idea why why it doesn't look like it's looping perfectly every time? It's kind of like stopping midway. What do you guys think is happening here? This is something that I haven't really talked about yet, so I'd be surprised if you do understand what's happening. Yeah, it's slowing down. Yeah, exactly. It's slowing down. But why is it slowing down? What do you guys think is happening? Nobody? Or Carson? I'll let Carson finish his thought. I think you did talk about this, but you forgot. I don't think I did talk about this actually. Yeah, so what's actually happening here is that by default, Unity will set a motion smoothing curve to every interpolated animation you make. So like every animation that's between two keyframes, and it just kind of and the computer has to guess how to get there. So if I press C here, you'll see that don't press C, by the way, because if you hit something in C, it'll just make it wacky. But I press C here, and you'll see that there's actually a slowdown curve here. Uh, there's a curve that's slowing down here. So that's what's happening. So to prevent this, what I'm gonna do, this is actually something that I literally learned. Like, hey Kunal, Kale, do you remember when it was like midsummer, and then I said like, oh my god, I found this like not mid. Yeah, it was like during the GMTK jam, and I was like, oh my god, I found this game game changing like thing in Unity. Do you remember that? It was from a while back. I found this like thing that will change my life forever. I said it. This is that thing. That's what I'm talking about here. If you do remember. But yeah, it was actually there's actually a way you can make it so that it doesn't do this dumb curve thing. And you can do that by selecting both the keyframes and right clicking on the keyframe, and then go and then make them and then make both tangents linear. So see what I did here? I selected them both. I right clicked on just one of the keyframes. It doesn't really matter which one. I went on both tangents and I clicked linear. Once you do that, it will be perfectly linear and it will look like it's looping. It doesn't really look like it's looping here though. Yeah, that's kind of odd. Wait 1 second. Oh, I know what's happening. Uh, we should actually start it from. Oh yeah, I see what's happening. Yeah. So what's happening is that we started here, but we're ending it here. So it looks like there's a completely new thing here. So let's actually move this back a bit to here, around there. Now it should look. Oh, now it kind of looks like it's jumping. So we gotta find like the perfect thing. Let's find out. Let's find this out. Oh, we could find it out by just getting this T thing. Yeah, see, it is a little bit off. So let's move it. Let's move this back a bit more. Doing some trial and error here. How does this look? Still not all the way. How's it start? Oh, it starts with it in. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna just keep pushing it until we reach, you know, how it's supposed to be. That looks good. Okay, let's see how it looks now. Oh wow, look at that! Looks perfect. So what? Yeah, what was happening there is that we were ending the keyframe off actually over here, so it looked like it was just jumping. Yeah, now it looks really smooth. So does everybody have this working? Look at that. It's beautiful. Maybe a bit too fast though. Maybe I'll make it a bit slower. Or 2 seconds. That looks better. Nice. Awesome. So when we play the game, it should look pretty cool. Now you can use this method. You can have this method like literally anything. Like literally any image that can literally any image that can be looped like this. So you can actually change the background if you want. Yeah, but I prefer you make an enemy type because that will really show me how good you are at Unity. That's my best approximation for that. So definitely but you can also edit. You can um add like abilities to the player. You can do like anything really, but I definitely prefer it if you make an enemy type because there's only one enemy type in the game, and we should add more. And once you do add the enemy type, just DM me on Discord so I can see it. And I'll make a fun video about everybody's enemy types or whatever they added. It'll be a cool summary of the winter break stuff. Cool. So we're just modifying the game? Yeah, you're modifying the game. You're not really changing. The core loop of the game isn't really changed, but you can add backgrounds. You can add abilities for the player. You can add a scoring system. Yeah, you can add new enemy types. There's all sorts. This game is so barren right now. Just add stuff to it. That's what I want you guys to do. Is it school themed like Eagle Quest? Nope. You can add whatever you want. You can add like an alien that's from space and he likes to eat grapes, but like the grapes are only half chopped. I really don't. Just be as creative as possible. That's what I want to see here. Because I felt like last year I really tried to constrict. You can make bosses, sure. If you can somehow fit a boss into it. I mean, you were here last year, so you have a lot of experience with Unity. I'm sure you could make something cool like that. Sick. All right. Are there any other questions for my little winter challenge here? No. Right. Cool. I will post a GitHub for what we did this semester. Maybe at the start of winter break. So, yeah. At the start of winter break, I will post a GitHub of all that stuff. If you are, I keep saying if let's say that you're not really happy with how like maybe you made some animations a little bit weirdly and you just want a fresh copy of it to modify. You can just use that GitHub of it. If you were at my GitHub like workshop I did in the first quarter, you'd know how to, implement those in Unity. So yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right. Otherwise, if you don't have any questions, I will see you next semester or next year. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good luck on your finals.
So long, Bowser!
Nah, that's
That's so funny.
crazy.
No, that's crazy. Wait.
I'm waiting for a time to use that one.